Alright, so just start tapping. So what's coming up for you?
Rejection.
Rejection? Hang on, I'll turn
Yes.
this off. So is that from dad rejection or
Mum.
mum rejection?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to call this movie title Rejection, but do you have an actual memory that we're going to go to?
I can go to a memory.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I want you to just think of that memory while we're tapping on the title of it. Rejection. Okay, so we might call it mum rejection. And I want you to give me a number out of 10 from that specific memory.
10.
10. Okay, and where are you feeling it in your body? Your heart. Even though I have this mum rejection,
Even though I have this mum rejection.
and I'm feeling it as a 10 in my heart,
I'm feeling it as a 10 in my heart.
I accept myself
I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
Even though I've got this mum rejection in my heart,
Even though I've got this mum rejection in my heart,
I accept myself
I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
I have this mum rejection memory,
I have this mum rejection memory
and I'm feeling it in my heart,
and I'm feeling it in my heart.
and I accept myself,
And I accept myself.
and I'm willing and ready to process it now.
And I'm willing and ready to process it now.
This mum rejection in my heart,
This mum rejection in my heart.
I have this mum rejection movie,
I have this mum rejection movie.
this mum rejection movie in my heart.
This mum rejection movie in my heart.
I feel it in my heart.
I feel that in my heart.
This 10 out of 10 mum rejection,
This 10 out of 10 mum rejection.
I feel it in my heart.
Feel it in my heart.
I have this mum rejection feeling in my heart.
This mum rejection feeling in my heart.
I'm willing to process it.
I'm willing to process it.
This mum rejection movie,
This mum rejection movie.
releasing it out of my heart.
Releasing it out of my heart.
Take a deep breath. Is it still 10 out of 10? Or does it come down? This mum rejection, just the movie title.
Yeah, probably about the 7.
Okay, so start tapping. So tuning into that 7, that mum rejection 7, in your heart, what exactly does it feel like in your heart? Can you describe it?
Burning.
It's a burning. Is it, what colour?
Intense colour.
Okay, so even though I've got this burning, intense rejection feeling in my heart,
Even though I've got this
burning, intense rejection feeling,
feeling in my heart.
this mum rejection,
This mum rejection.
I accept myself
I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
Even though I've still got this mum rejection feeling in my heart,
I feel like I'm suffocating a bit.
even though I feel like I'm suffocating,
I feel like I'm suffocating.
I've got this mum rejection trapped in my heart.
I've got this mum rejection trapped in my heart.
I'm willing to release it and process it now.
I'm willing to release it and process it now.
This mum rejection trapped in my heart,
This mum rejection trapped in my heart.
this suffocating feeling,
This suffocating feeling.
processing and releasing it.
Processing it and releasing it.
Top of the head, this mum rejection,
This mum rejection.
this movie of mum rejection.
This movie of mum rejection.
I feel it in my heart,
I feel it in my heart.
this suffocation in my heart.
This suffocation in my heart.
I'm processing it now.
Processing it now.
I'm processing it now. Side of the eye,
Processing it now.
this rejection in my heart.
This rejection in my heart.
Releasing this suffocating feeling.
Releasing this suffocating feeling.
I'm so glad to be processing this rejection.
I'm so glad to be processing this rejection.
Thanking my body for releasing this
Thanking my body for releasing this
suffocation feeling.
suffocation feeling.
Releasing it.
Releasing it.
This suffocation feeling.
Suffocation feeling.
This rejection that belongs to mum. Top of the head.
Rejection belongs to mum.
Doesn't even belong to me.
Doesn't even belong to me.
Eyebrow. Releasing this rejection feeling in my heart.
Releasing this rejection feeling in my heart.
I have my mum's rejection trapped in my heart.
This mum's rejection in my heart.
No wonder I have cardiomyopathy.
No wonder I have cardiomyopathy.
I've had this mum rejection in my heart.
I've had this mum rejection in my heart.
It's been trapped there for so long. This sadness. Keep tapping. Sadness?
Yeah.
Collarbone, this sadness. Thanking my body
Thanking my body.
for giving me this symptom
Thanking my body for giving me this symptom.
so that I can process this
So I can process this
and release this mum rejection
and release this mum rejection
that's been trapped in my heart
that's been trapped in my heart
for all these years.
for all these years.
I'm releasing this mum rejection out of my heart.
Releasing this mum rejection out of my heart.
Top of the head, processing and releasing it. This suffocating feeling,
Suffocating feeling.
eyebrow, this suffocating feeling.
Suffocating feeling.
Side of the eye, I felt suffocated when mum rejected me. The sadness under the eye,
Sadness.
I felt suffocated when mum rejected me.
I felt sadness when mum rejected me.
I felt sadness and suffocation,
I felt sadness and suffocation.
and it's been trapped in my heart.
It's been trapped in my heart.
Collarbone, trapped in my heart all this time.
Trapped in my heart all this time.
Releasing it now.
Releasing it now.
Just like letting smoke out of a fireplace. It wants to leave.
Wants to leave.
Under the arm. Processing and releasing it.
Processing it and releasing it.
Take a deep breath. So we're still tapping for the title, but see how, even though we're tapping for the title, we're tuning into it in the body. So when you think of the title of this one memory, this mum rejection, is it still a 7 out of 10?
Well, the title feels different to the way I feel.
Yes.
So
the
way
title is different now. The title was before.
it's
was
kind of
10 out
almost
10.
like the title's not there, but
Okay,
the feeling
now
in
it's-
my body
Okay.
is about an 8.
Okay. So we've gone from the title, so let's go to the 8 feeling in your body. So this specific memory.
Specific memory.
So is this memory like a couple of minutes long?
It was my whole childhood.
Yeah, but this one memory, I want one memory, one
Yeah.
specific memory.
It was just an instant.
Okay. So I have this instant memory,
This instant memory,
and I can feel it in my body.
and I can feel it in my body.
This mum rejection memory.
This mum rejection memory.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and the way my body's been holding onto it.
and the way my body's been holding on to it.
And I'm letting my body know we can process and release it now.
I'm letting my body know we can process it and release it.
Even though I've still got this remaining trapped feeling in my heart
Even though I've got this trapped remaining feeling in my heart
of mum rejection.
of mum rejection
It happened in an instant.
that happened in an instant.
I'm processing and releasing it,
I'm processing and releasing it,
and I accept myself
and I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
I have my mother's rejection
I have my mother's rejection
trapped in my body,
trapped in my body,
and I'm processing and releasing it out of my heart.
and I'm processing and releasing it out of my heart.
This memory of mum's rejection,
This memory of mum's rejection
it happened in an instant.
that happened in an instant.
I felt it in my heart,
Felt it in my heart.
this smothering feeling.
Smothering feeling.
I can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
This sadness in my heart,
Sadness in my heart
it happened in an instant.
that happened in an instant.
I'm releasing and processing it.
I'm releasing and processing it.
It belongs to mum.
Belongs to mum.
It doesn't even belong to me. This sadness,
This sadness,
this sadness,
this sadness
it belongs to mum.
that belongs to mum.
Releasing and processing it.
Releasing and processing it.
Under the arm, releasing and processing it.
Releasing and processing it.
It doesn't even belong to me.
It doesn't even belong to me.
Take a deep breath. So the charge came up then when I said it belongs to mum. What came up for you then?
Well, that I felt responsible for it,
Mm-hmm.
and that I've owned it ever since. Like that's what I've become.
There's a bit of a cognitive shift there around that. So what are you feeling now when you've got this memory that happened in an instant? Are you ready to say what happened with it?
Oh, she just yelled at me and didn't want to know. I was upset and she didn't want to know about it.
Okay.
But she'd actually caused the upsetting,
Mhm.
and then I was trying to talk to her about it and she didn't want to know about it.
Okay. So where are you feeling now? Even though I've got this memory,
this
mum yelling at me memory,
mum yelling at me memory,
and I felt the rejection,
and felt the rejection.
she didn't want to know about it.
She didn't want to know about it.
I accept myself,
I accept myself,
and the way my heart's held onto it,
and the way my heart's held onto it.
I'm letting my heart know we can release it now.
I'm letting my heart know we can release it now.
Even though I've still got some remaining rejection memory,
Even though I've got some remaining rejection feeling,
mum yelled at me,
mum yelled at me,
and I can still feel it in my heart.
and I can still feel it in my heart.
It doesn't even belong to me,
It doesn't even belong to me.
and I've held it all this time,
I've held it all this time.
and I'm letting my body know we can release it now.
I'm letting my body know we can release it now.
Releasing and letting go.
Releasing and letting go.
This mum rejection,
This mum rejection.
she didn't want to know about it.
She didn't want to know about it.
I was upset and she didn't want to know about it.
I was upset and she didn't want to know about it.
She even caused the upset
She even caused the upset.
and she didn't want to know about it.
She didn't want to know about it.
I tried to tell her.
Tried to tell her.
She didn't listen.
She didn't listen.
I can still hear her yelling at me,
I can still hear her yelling at me,
and I can feel it in my heart.
and I can feel it in my heart.
She didn't want to know.
She didn't want to know.
I'm releasing it out of my heart.
I'm releasing it out of my heart.
This sadness,
This sadness,
this hard to breathe feeling,
this hard to breathe feeling.
I've held on to it all these years,
Held onto it all these years.
and I'm releasing it now.
I'm releasing it now.
Releasing it out of my heart.
Releasing it out of my heart.
So take a deep breath. Big releasing happening. So what's it for? What's it like when you picture mum in that memory? Do you get any
She's
charge?
just angry.
She's angry, so you can see her anger, and
I
can
feel
you,
the anger.
you can feel it. Can you hear her words of her yelling at you?
No, it's probably just a sense of her angry now.
So it's more of a feeling.
I become attuned
Yep.
to her mood,
Mhm.
and then when I feel the anger, that's
Mhm.
what I feel.
And what did she yell out at you? You remember, it was just that sense of her anger.
It was just the hearing
Mhm.
of
The tap.
it was the hearing of the rejection.
Mhm. I can still hear her rejection,
I can still hear her rejection,
and I can sense her anger,
and I can sense her anger,
and I'm feeling it in my heart.
and I'm feeling it in my heart.
I can feel her anger,
I can feel her anger.
and if I was there now, I'd tap on her anger. Keep tapping. I can sense and feel her anger. I have compassion. Is that true? Yep. I can feel her anger. I can feel it in my body and
I can
hers.
feel her anger,
I can feel it in my body and hers.
and I can feel it in my body and hers.
And I'm releasing it from me,
And I'm releasing it from me,
and I'm releasing it from her,
and I'm releasing it from her,
because we're connected.
because we're connected.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my mum
and my mum
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
She was doing the best she could
She was doing the best she could
with her own beliefs
with her own beliefs
and her own emotions.
and her own emotions.
She was on survival mode,
She was on survival mode.
but I still feel her anger.
I still feel her anger.
I took that on into my body,
Took that on into my body,
and I felt it in my heart,
and I felt it in my heart,
and I'm releasing it from my heart,
and I'm releasing it from my heart,
releasing my anger,
releasing my anger,
connected to her and releasing her anger.
connected to her and releasing her anger.
I feel the compassion.
Feel the compassion.
I feel it in my heart.
Feel it in my heart.
When she yelled at me,
And she yelled at me,
releasing that feeling of anger,
releasing that feeling of anger,
Releasing it from my body.
Releasing it from my body
And hers.
and hers.
When you tune into that feeling of anger that you're holding in your heart, that you felt connected to her as well, what colour was that? Okay, and what colour would help to dissolve that anger? Clear. And is that all that's there? Is it just the anger that's remaining? That you're still
Yeah,
feeling
the
in your
anger
body?
is what's remaining.
Okay, so keep tapping. Even though, karate chop, even though I have this remaining anger,
Even though I have this remaining anger,
this remaining dark anger,
this remaining dark anger,
I accept this clear to dissolve it
I accept this clear to dissolve it
out of my heart,
out of my heart,
out of my mum.
out of my mum.
We deserve peace.
We deserve peace.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and the way my body has held on to this
and the way my body has held on to this
and the way my body is now releasing it.
and the way my body is now releasing it.
Releasing the anger.
Releasing the anger.
Releasing the anger.
Releasing the anger.
Accepting this clear to dissolve it all.
Accepting this clear to dissolve it all.
I dissolve it all out of my body.
I dissolve it all out of my body.
I accept peace into my body.
I accept peace into my body.
I accept the love that everyone's sending me.
I accept the love that everyone's sending me.
What's the colour of the love that everyone's sending from their hearts to yours?
I don't really feel it.
Okay, everyone's sending love. It's all coming from their hearts to yours. We're all connected.
It's just a sense of not trusting it.
Not trusting it. Even though I don't trust the love,
Even though I don't trust the love,
I choose to accept it anyhow.
I choose to accept it anyhow.
Choosing to accept the love
Choosing to accept the love
that I am sitting in this room,
that I'm sitting in this room,
dissolving any remaining anger.
dissolving any remaining anger.
Accepting the love
Accepting the love
as I feel it
as I feel it
and sense it.
and sense it.
Dissolving any anger.
Dissolving any anger.
Dissolving any distrust.
Dissolving any distrust.
Any distrust of the love.
Any distrust of the love.
I couldn't trust love in the past.
Couldn't trust love in the past.
But I choose to accept and trust this love
I choose to accept and trust this love.
that I'm sitting in right here.
I'm sitting in right here.
What colour is it that's coming in? From all our hearts to
I
yours.
don't know if I really trust it.
I still don't know if I trust it,
Still don't know if I trust it.
but I'm willing to be open to receiving it.
But I'm willing to be open to receiving it.
It's a gift from them to me. It's a gift from them to me. I don't know if I can accept it.
No, I can accept it.
I don't know if I'm worthy to accept it,
No, I'm ready to accept it.
but maybe I am.
Maybe I am.
I choose to be open to the possibility of accepting the love. What's coming up?
I just don't feel worthy.
I don't feel worthy of accepting love. I've never felt worthy of accepting love.
Never felt worthy of accepting love.
I never felt worthy of accepting love.
Never felt worthy of accepting.
And yet everyone's sending it to me. But I have trouble accepting it.
But I have trouble accepting it.
I have memories of not feeling worthy of accepting love.
Memory of worthy of accepting love.
Do you have one particular memory?
No, what?
Lots. So it's a belief system. I have this belief
I just believe
when I was a child.
I was a child
I learnt this belief from my parents
and others.
and others. Is it true? Is it true that you're not worthy to have love? So that's the belief you grew up with. Were you born with that belief? Were you born with that belief or did you learn it?
I learned it.
I learned it. Anything I've learned, I can unlearn.
Anything I've learned, I can unlearn.
I learnt to be not worthy of love.
I've learnt to be not worthy of love.
I learned that from people around me.
I've learnt that from people around me.
And I'm open to the possibility of being able to accept love.
And I'm
Open to the possibility
open to the possibility
to be able to accept love,
to be able to accept love,
to be open and worthy of love,
to be open and worthy of love,
and to learn to be worthy of love.
and to learn to be worthy of love.
Everyone's worthy of being loved.
Everyone's worthy of being loved.
I have.
Say but me.
I learned that I wasn't
I learned that I wasn't
as a young child,
as a young child,
and maybe I can learn
and maybe I can learn
that that's not correct,
that's not correct,
that that's not true.
that's not true.
That's just how I was taught,
It's just how I was taught.
and maybe I can learn to be worthy of love,
Maybe I can learn to be worthy of love,
and see and experience and feel the love coming into my heart now,
and see and experience
and feel
the
the love that's coming from
love
everyone in the room
that's coming from everyone in the room
into my heart now.
into my heart now.
I choose to feel it. I don't want to block that.
I don't want to block
I
that.
do want to block that.
I do want to block that.
Part of me wants to block it.
Part of me wants to block it.
Part of me wants to accept it.
Part of me wants to accept it.
So I choose to allow the part of me that wants to accept it,
So I choose to allow the part of me that wants to accept it,
to let the other part of me know
to let the other part of me know
it's safe to trust and allow.
it's safe to trust and allow.
And I choose to let some of that love in.
And I choose to let some of that love in.
I choose to feel some of that love.
Choose to feel some of that love.
Part of me wants to accept it.
Part of me wants to accept it.
And I'm letting the part of me that wants to block it
And I'm letting the part of me that wants to block it
know that it's worthy to receive it.
know that it's worthy to receive it.
And I choose to feel it and welcome it.
And I choose to feel it and welcome it.
What colour is it?
Which bit?
The love that's coming in from everyone.
It's clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel it, but I don't feel the wall of protection up.
Good. Okay. So I accept this clear love,
I accept this clear love,
and I choose to be open to experience the feeling of it.
and I choose to
Be
be open
to the experience of
to
feeling.
the experience of feeling
It's safe.
it's safe.
I can trust it.
I can trust it.
I choose to feel it,
I choose to feel it,
even though I don't know what it feels like.
even though I don't know what it feels like.
It's a new feeling.
It's a new feeling.
Deep breath. That got into some big stuff, didn't it? How are you feeling with that? So that memory.
I feel relieved that I'm starting to unravel it, because I've tried to get to it and haven't been able to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been single for so many years, and
Of course. You don't
Feel-
trust love.
I
Not
feel
worthy of it.
I feel I should be living a life that I'm not. I don't know how to get there.
Yep. And it's a process. We are unravelling it. But can you see how, the symptom of cardiomyopathy is completely there from beliefs and learnings through childhood.
Yeah.
Mm. And we're unravelling it. And, that's where it can go from a simple movie of something that we went into gently, of a movie of one thing of rejection of mum yelling at me, and where it goes to, and where you take it to the belief, the underlying belief, I'm not worthy of love, which comes from what you learnt as a child, not to trust it and not to be worthy of it.
And then when you feel that, it kind of attracts the same thing to keep telling you that.
Yeah, exactly. It's law of attraction. It's your belief. You'll attract to you what you believe. Okay? Does that feel a lot better?
It feels weird. I feel
feels
really
weird.
quite weird.
Of course, because it's all new. Weird and wow is the main thing that we get from these things.
Mm.
Yeah. Good work. Okay.
Thank you.
That's